The drama continues on the Plains as the Auburn Athletic Department learns they'll have to turn over information related to a federal bribery probe.
Plus, the latest on a lawsuit that claims a domestic violence victim in Columbus was fined for refusing to press charges against her abuser.
In at 70 forecast, we're going to reveal some big change. We start out warm, maybe just a little shot of some rain, but that front will make a fall difference. It's coming up in the 7-day outlook. Plus, we'll show you the rest of this week forecast straight ahead. Nightwatch starts right now.
On your side, this is News 3 Nightwatch.
Good evening and thank you for trusting News 3. I'm Phil Scoggins.
And I'm Teresa Whitaker. A judge has approved a class action settlement of a federal lawsuit against the city of Columbus. The lawsuit stops the city from charging a fee to people who refuse to participate in domestic violence prosecutions. It was originally filed in October 2016 when Cleopatra Harrison called 911 to report abuse. The claim says Columbus police officers observed her injuries, arrested her boyfriend, and told her to appear in court. But when Harrison told the local judge she didn't want to press charges, she was told she owed the city of Columbus $150.
Obviously, if they know that they're going to be fined or even jailed if they report an offense, they're going to be less likely to do so. And obviously, that's a big problem.
The Southern Center for Human Rights says the settlement will allow anyone who paid those fees to receive reimbursement and compensation.
Auburn University Director of Communications Mike Clarity says a federal subpoena has been issued to the Auburn Athletic Department. The subpoena is relating to the investigation of suspended basketball coach Chuck Person. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Person is one of 10 college coaches that took cash bribes from managers and advisors in exchange for directing players and their families to certain agents. The feds say that Person received more than $90,000 in bribery payments.
On the Crime Watch tonight, Columbus police have made an arrest in a murder investigation on Wickham Drive. 17-year-old Clayton Perry is accused of shooting and killing 29-year-old James Francescani back on August 15th. Police say Francescani was shot in the stomach and died at Midtown Medical Center 2 days later. Perry is set to make a court appearance Friday morning at 8.
Authorities are asking for your help in a double murder investigation out of Clay County. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says police were called to a home in Fort Gaines after gunshots were heard early this morning. Officers found Charlie Smith and Manuelito Jackson dead at the house. If you have any information about this case, you're asked to call the GBI office at the number on your screen.
An update now on the Georgia father accused of killing his 2-week-old baby girl. 27-year-old Christopher McNabb appeared before a judge Thursday in Newton County. McNabb was escorted into court. He hung his head low as he appeared before a judge for the first time. He's accused of killing his 15-day-old daughter, Kalia, and throwing her body in a wooded area behind their home. No bond was issued in the case.
In North Carolina, 2 prison employees were killed and several others injured in an incident this afternoon at Pasquotank Correctional Institute that is in Elizabeth City. Authorities say inmates started a fire and several tried to escape, but they were caught. It's unclear exactly how the 2 prison employees were killed.
LaGrange could get its first black mayor, but it won't happen without a fight. Among other hot-button issues, the mayor and challenger discussed how they would work to handle a problem with race relations and crime.
News 3's Ashley Garrett was there. She's joining us now with a story that you'll see only on News 3.
Thursday, the mayoral race piqued the interest of many during a candidates forum in LaGrange. Running in this race is current Mayor Jim Thornton and challenger Jimmy McCamey Jr. During the forum, both candidates shed light on race relations.
A certain segment of people that lived in District 1, which is mostly Caucasian people. And in District 2, you mostly have African Americans and Hispanics. And when you have a city that has grown over the years to be separate, then you really don't they don't have a communication or dialogue in terms of race relations.
I never use the District 1, District 2 language in anything that I ever say, because I have been a mayor for the entire city and will be for the next 4 years.
If elected, McCamey Jr., a college professor, would be the first black mayor of LaGrange. He explained some of the feedback he's gotten from the community.
several white people tell me, you must be crazy to think you're going to be mayor in the city of LaGrange. But I've had black people to say it as well.
Thornton explains what plans are in place in an effort to unify LaGrange.
Initiative patterned off of work that's been done in Richmond, Virginia, and it's been very successful, over 250 participants.
Thornton says that process has been working to overcome the historic division in LaGrange. Both candidates also weighed in on crime.
The murder rate and rate, the statistics have slightly decreased, but we've seen an uptick in assault, robbery, burglary.
Thornton says under his watch, he's seen tremendous improvement.
In 2015, we had 20 shootings, gang-related shootings in LaGrange. In 2016, we had 17. So far this year, we've only had 2.
Another race underway in LaGrange is the seat for City Council District 1B. Those candidates are Jim Arrington, Luther Jones, and Chuck Pitts. The election for that race and the mayoral race will take place on November 7th.
To the weather now, and did we manage to break any records today?
Chief Meteorologist Bob Jeswald has our first look at the forecast.
We did not. Only 2 degrees away. We were 92, but we were 3 days in a row of 92 degrees. We had 2 of those were records. One was tied, one was beaten, and of course today, another warm one, that's for sure. Not far enough to the east. This is that boundary that's stalled out front. That was enough to keep us still on the warm, humid side. But look at the airflow now. Look at high pressure here. Look how it's starting to move in from the east-northeast. It's going to pull in some moisture from the mid-Atlantic around this high pressure. And this high pressure will keep us mainly dry at the surface. So I'm going to go with a few sprinkles with this tomorrow afternoon. But don't be surprised to get a little quick passing light shower, but nothing more than that. And then for the weekend, we continue to see the same airflow kind of pulling in here, but we're not completely fall-like just yet. You know, it's more than just this front and more than just this high pressure. Let's just back up a bit in a moment and show you what we're talking about. Now we go live over at the Flightways Gateway Aviation. You can see a nice clear night out there. And those temperatures out here today did make it up to 92. There was your record, 93 and 1904, and 78 is our average as we take a look at how these temperatures are viewing. But by the time we get in early next week, Phil, when that front comes through, I mean a real cold front, we're going to truly get a taste of fall. In fact, we'll fall below average. And you know, I just said average of 78. We're going to see some mid-70s straight ahead.
All right, thank you, Bob. News 3 on your side tonight, working to help keep your pets safe. The Columbus Health Department says a raccoon with rabies bit 2 pets in Cordele, that's below Macon. Tonight, local health representatives telling pet owners what to do should their pets come across a stray animal.
Best thing you can do is have your pets vaccinated against rabies, your dogs, your cats, and if you do come across any wildlife or you see any stray animals, call animal control because they're equipped to deal with stray animals and wildlife.
Representatives with the Columbus Health Department also say by law, all pet owners are supposed to have their animals vaccinated against rabies.
The Boy Scouts will no longer be just for boys. The Boy Scouts of America says its values are important for both young men and women. So starting next year, girls will be admitted into the Cub Scouts, and in 2019, a program for older girls will allow them to earn the rank of Eagle Scout. The Boy Scouts Board of Directors approved the plan unanimously. Dan Gilbert served on the Executive Council for 15 years and currently serves on the Advisory Council. He supports the change.
Here's my take on it is particularly the Eagle program, you're sent to attaining the Eagle Award in Scouting, is such an awesome program that I think it's great that girls now have the opportunity to participate in that. It's terrific, and I think you'll have a lot of girls want to do that.
We received a statement from the local Chattahoochee Council, which reads in part, the Chattahoochee Council Boy Scouts of America was pleased to hear of the change approved by the Boy Scouts of America to admit girls to its Cub Scout and Boy Scout programs. There is nothing in the Scout Oath or Scout Law which is specific to men. In fact, most other countries allow girls to participate in Scouting, and we are excited that we can now offer the leadership training and skills to our entire local community, end quote.
An Auburn teenager is feeling love from all over the country and even the world after a simple Facebook post. Chris Smith was adopted back in 2006 from Ukraine, where he was severely burned as an infant. Since coming to the U.S., he's had 15 reconstructive surgeries. Before the most recent one, his dad posted on Facebook requesting that folks send Chris some cards to cheer him up. Well, Chris has now received over 2,000 cards and counting. They're from all over the country and around the globe.
It gives him something to look forward to. I mean, he's sitting here day after day after day after day, and the first couple weeks he was just in so much pain, and that was just like a bright spot in his day. I mean, just reading those cards every day and pinning them. I mean, I just want to tell everybody thank you.
Chris is scheduled to have another surgery in mid-November. His family says prayers are always appreciated.
Still to come on the Night Watch, the death toll has climbed to 31 in the deadliest wildfires in California's history.
In 1 minute, what firefighters are doing to battle the more than 20 fires in the northern wine country. The deadliest wildfire outbreak in modern California history is still burning and so far has claimed at least 31 lives.
Progress slowed Thursday despite additional resources from out of state. As Chris Martinez updates us from Sonoma County, containment percentages in many of the fires are still in the single digits.
California National Guard troops have dropped more than 60,000 gallons of water on the wildfires ravaging wine country. On the ground, firefighters are hosing down hotspots. Flames have burned through these neighborhoods in Napa County. In all, at least 3,500 structures have been destroyed across the region. There are now triple the number of firefighters battling the Atlas fire since yesterday.
This is going to be a long fight to put this fire out in that rugged, steep terrain that is up in those hills.
The Sonoma County Sheriff says some 400 people are still missing, and crews are now recovering the dead.
There were some in the houses, majority of them. One was found next to a vehicle.
The sheriff described that process as difficult. In some cases, they're finding just ash and bone.
That's part of my bed. You see that right there?
Pepe Tamayo returned to the rubble that used to be his home in Napa. Tamayo's family fit on board a rescue chopper, but there wasn't enough room for him.
I called my daughter and I told her, Mija, if I don't see you again, remember I love you.
Crews made 2 more trips before they found him.
I grabbed him right above his left chest on his shirt and said, "You're coming with me."
Smoke is drifting down to San Francisco, affecting the air quality there. Flights have been impacted, and Sunday's Raiders-Chargers game might have to be moved out of Oakland. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Sonoma County, California.
Fire has destroyed the home of late Peanuts creator Charles Schultz. His widow was able to escape.
Thankfully. And I am just counting the days and hours until 70s and 50s.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's right around the corner. We got to wait till early next week, but we're getting there, folks. You're going to love this forecast. I really think you are. Here's a view right now of what's going on outside. We've got some mid-60s. Not bad. It's been a little drier, slightly cooler in our extreme northern counties, but farther south, we're still kind of hanging on to that stalled-out front right here. But that's about to change in the first alert forecast because colder air is coming up in the 7-day outlook.
News 3 brings you your first alert forecast.
From the airport we go. We look south and east right now, and we're seeing quite a view. 76 degrees still, even after the midnight hour Eastern time, and we're 15, 16 minutes, 11 o'clock Central. But we're going to see some changes coming. And a raincast model showing us how it's eroding. We're talking about the stalled out front, this boundary, that's been pulling some rain showers and some cloudiness. We have a little bit more of a disturbance farther north across North Carolina and South Carolina. And a little bit of that wave and energy starting to flow around high pressure tomorrow. Could pull in maybe a little smattering of a light shower here and there. I think more sprinkles locally because it's real stable at the surface. But that airflow continues to pull in some of this, kind of mid-subtropical moisture at this time of year, and it's all by way of this high pressure. It's not enough to really wet things up here. We could certainly use some of the rain. We're not going to. Where we've been seeing these stray pop-up showers and storms is right along the track. That front's been stalled out, and it has moved almost 50 to 60 miles since earlier this afternoon towards Tifton, Georgia. So as it situates itself in this area, high pressure is going to be the reason why we see a little bit more cloud cover tomorrow coming up. And we talked about that weather almanac earlier, and we're looking at nothing today in the rain gauge for the month, just over 2¼ inches. And whatever we get coming up in this forecast you're going to see is not going to be a lot. It doesn't look that way, despite the fact the midsection of country is going to get something significant coming up this weekend. So almost just a quarter of the viewing area, seeing some 60s out there, some drier, slightly cooler air. You can see that band of some green here. That yellow indicates more where that warm, moist air is still kind of hanging on because of this. And of course, the colder air coming down from the Pacific Northwest. But you could see where it's coming from. I mean, this is a nice area of cold air coming down from Canada. It stretches all the way back up in the western provinces here, all the way down into the Rockies. And we're going to tap that air mass. Even though it travels over land for a little bit to warm up slightly, we're going to still have some cooler weather, which will knock us down to about average and then below average, which I think is going to be even more on the exciting side if you like fall weather. So we look at that, of course, clouds lifting in here, drifting back. We watch this cold air mass slowly meander. Here we are Saturday. I'm going to stop it here at 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. And you could see the line of showers and storms. This could set up quite a little bit of activity here from the southern plains into northeast Texas, back across the Midwest. And a cold area of low pressure pulling all that cold air behind it. That's the change. And then we get a little squall line coming ahead of the front. Usually we watch this kind of stuff to see if it ejects far enough ahead late Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. I'm thinking Sunday night we may have a line of some showers briefly. It looks like it may weaken, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, and it'll be out of here. And then we introduce the cool air, but it won't be in full-fledged until Tuesday, but it's going to work in here. So mostly clear, some patchy fog in the morning, 69 degrees. For Thursday, we'll have some sunshine in the morning for you guys, and then in the afternoon, we're going to have a lot of clouds building as that air mass just changes direction here, 90 degrees. And in 70 on Saturday, about 86 for high, thanks to the extensive cloud cover. We have the Suck It Up Buttercup. It's a 15K run. Kind of wraps up the summer series of running for a lot of our running folks. But we continue to run, of course, all season. But it's kind of part of the summer series they call it fitness series. And then we look at 88 degrees or late showers, thunderstorm coming in Sunday and early Monday. Monday, 80 for high. No one's complaining about that, right? 66. But would you like a taste of mid-50s and some mid-70s Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday? Oh, yeah. It comes in, and that is what we call seasonal. Some people go, what does seasonal mean? It's kind of a relative term. It's average. When we say the word meteorologically, it's seasonal outside. It's like saying, oh, it's average, what you would expect.
I welcome seasonal.
All right.
All right, thanks, Bob. Crowdfunding has become an easy way to help those in need, but be careful before you donate.
Coming up in 3 minutes, News 3's Greg Lloyd has tips to make sure that your money is going to the intended recipient. From paying medical bills to helping a family after a disaster, crowdfunding has become a very popular way to raise money and support someone who's in need.
But before you open your wallet, News 3's Greg Lloyd has a few things you should consider.
Over the years, Ann Niemeyer has seen a number of fundraising campaigns come across her Facebook feed. Many times, she's been happy to help.
I've seen some people in need of medical expenses, and then of course if something tragic happens to a family and their children need to be taken care of, so things that really pull at my heartstrings.
She's not alone. According to a 2015 survey, roughly 1 in 5 Americans has donated to online crowdfunding campaigns, often in amounts of $11 to $50, while Niemeyer has also donated to national organizations. For her, crowdfunding, with its updates and photos, just feels more personal.
I feel like I've become part of a family of support for this person, and just to see the change in their face and the progress is really fulfilling.
But before you let a personal story tug at your purse strings, there are a few things to consider. Consumer Reports says it can be hard to tell if the campaign is legitimate. In fact, there have been documented cases of fraud.
But in general, a lot of these sites take measures to prevent that from happening.
To protect yourself, he suggests keeping donations between friends.
Generally, the best thing to do is to give only to people that you know, rather than complete strangers.
If you don't know the recipient personally, don't be the first one to pitch in, and you may want to read comments from other donors before giving.
See what they have to say about this campaign and make sure that it's legitimate.
You also want to avoid overfunding. If a campaign has met its goal,
that's kind of the limit, and assume that they've gotten what they need and don't give anything more than that.
All right, sports anchor Natalie Pellicetti joining us now.
You would think it's Friday with all of the football we're talking about tonight on Thursday.
That's right. We had the NFL right here on our channel, plus 2 high school football games. We've got your highlights coming up next with 3 on Your Side Sports.
Time for News 3 Sports.
We have got a lot of football action for y'all tonight between the NFL, which just ended right here on WRBL, and 2 high school football games. We've got you covered early this morning, should I say. So let's just get right into it. Kicking it off with Hardaway and Northside in a big region game over at Kinnett Stadium. 2 teams looking to improve to 3-1. Already 7-0 in the first Hawks lead, but Northside comes right back with this Chandler Blanton pass to A.J. Burris in the end zone for 6. That ties the game up. Second quarter now, and the Hawks aren't messing around. Dominique Ford with the handoff to their playmaker, Marco Lee. Look at him go, 54 yards to the house, y'all. Hawks take the lead, but Patriots coming back on offense, and look at this beautiful shot our photographer Kevin Roble got. Blanton to Quincy Brown for the TD. Beautiful catch too, of course. Northside would go on to win this one, 31-21. Over at Memorial Stadium, you guys, pay attention here. Look at this Kendrick mascot. He's going in. I think I have 10 seconds of this because it was that good. He's feeling it. All right, Kendrick hosting Pike. Here's the thing, it just really was not very eventful. Kendrick forces a turnover. 2 plays later, it's another turnover for Pike County. So pretty much that is all we saw here. Pike County would get the touchdown with about 4 minutes left in the first half. Jackson Holmes on the keeper for the score, and they went on to win 35-6. Pike County improves to 3-0 in the region. The undefeated Lynette High Panthers football team has put up high numbers and a lot of work this season. That is why we are proud to announce them as this week's WRBL Athletes of the Week award winners. News 3's Carlos Williams visited with the Panthers and has the report.
You would think it's the start of summer drills rather than October based on the enthusiasm at the Lynette High School football practice earlier this week. This season they have been led by players like senior defensive end / tight end Baraskius Dardell, sophomore quarterback cornerback Christian Story, and senior running back / middle linebacker Jawan Howell.
We've been playing pretty good football. We still have stuff to work on, and we have to keep growing each week so we can get to where we want to be.
We treat each other like we do good, like we undefeated, and you know, these are our brothers, so we love to play the game.
We knew coming in we were ranked number 3 in the state coming into the season, so I don't think it's a surprise the season we're having. We're just going to try not to get the big head and start working.
Coach Story says the secret to this year's team's success is no secret at all. He says it's all due to hard work.
We have a lot of senior leadership. We have some underclassmen who've played in big games, and they understand our philosophy and what we're trying to accomplish here at Lynette, and it has made a big difference.
And Coach Story says he hopes his team continues to play well and continue to peak.
I don't want to peak too early. You know, we just need to continue to get better, minimize mistakes, continue to play team ball for its offense, defense, and special teams, and you know, let the chips fall. We're just going to take it one game at a time and see where it leads us.
And in the meantime, the Panthers hit the road this Friday night to take on Ranburne High, which gives us a moment to pause to say good luck and congratulations to the Lynette High School Panthers football team, our Cody Road Trophies and Jewelers Athletes of the Week. In Lynette, Alabama, I'm Carlos Williams for News 3 Sports, on your side.
There is just something about high school football. It's been over 40 years since I played, but to go to a game and just
Yeah.
the atmosphere, electric, and the smell of the grass, and it's just a cool thing.
I know, and
This is a great time of year.
we've got a lot of action, plus your Georgia Bulldogs this weekend as well. I want to make sure we put that out there.
Oh yeah,
So everybody
They're going
knows.
for their 7th straight win and number 4 in the country, so we'll see what happens against Mizzou.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Coming right back. Stay with us.
Okay,
Bob,
guys.
take us home.
Oh, you want to go home? Why don't we just hang out?
Yeah, it's only 12:30.
We could show you more highlights of the Thursday
Go
night
eat
football
breakfast
game.
somewhere.
We could just go back over and revisit the post game and stuff like that. So here we are looking at 69 in the overnight forecast. Some patchy fog. Your Thursday forecast in one day of 90, not too bad. Sunny in the morning, clouds building in the afternoon. You may encounter a sprinkle here and there, so don't be surprised tomorrow. Maybe a little light shower in our northern counties, but generally speaking, you'll see those clouds in the afternoon, cloudy on Saturday, 86, and that front comes in Sunday night late. Now, this could bring in maybe just you'll see weakening showers and thunderstorms to our north and west, but enough to maybe wet or whistle. But behind that will be significant. See, the cool air doesn't really make its way down the surface right away with a front. So your front will carve in here, bring some clouds, breezy, 80 on Monday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday. A slap of fall. There you go.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Bob.
Good morning.
That's going to do it for News 3 Nightwatch.
Sleep well.